Why are Africans more at risk of developing type 2 diabetes mellitus than other groups? This was the question I was asked by one of my followers yesterday, trying to find out why we are more prone to developing type 2 diabetes mellitus than others. In fact, it is not just type 2 diabetes mellitus. We are more prone to developing metabolic diseases than other groups. The reason is that Africans are more insulin resistant than other ethnic groups. What it means is that if you bring an African, an Asian, and an European with the same waist height ratio or body mass index, the African is likely to have more insulin resistance than the others. Our high insulin resistance are partly because our pancreas produces more insulin for the same glucose load compared to others. Secondly, is that Africans have lower threshold of triglyceride to cause insulin resistance. Remember, I told you that triglyceride high density lipoprotein ratio is actually used in estimating insulin resistance. Triglyceride is a form of fat. Usually, the fat distribution in Africans are around the abdominal area, usually within the abdomen. These sort of fats are called visceral fats because they are found around internal organs. And the level of visceral fats can directly determine insulin resistance, as the more visceral fats you have around your internal organs, the higher your insulin resistance. And Africans have more visceral fat distribution than other groups, increasing their insulin resistance and their metabolic disease risk. Another very important reason is that Africans, though having bulky muscles, have less efficient mitochondria. Mitochondria are sort of powerhouses of the cells, and what they do is that they can oxidize fats to release energy. Fat oxidation are one of the ways of promoting insulin sensitivity besides energy production. So the mitochondria of Africans are less efficient in fatty oxidation, thereby worsening their insulin resistance. Now, another very important reason why Africans are more insulin resistant and therefore at more risk of developing metabolic diseases are that they have shifted away from native food that they consume to westernized food. Africans developed on food that are high in fibers and less in processed sugar. Recently, Africans have evolved into eating food that are highly processed, low in fibers, and are filled with unhealthy fats, which further worsens their insulin resistance and their risk for metabolic diseases. Another is we are becoming gradually sedentary. Africans are known to be nomads. They are known to be hunters moving around. But civilization and development from formation of societies has restricted our movement, and this has been worsened by technology, making us less active than before. Sedentary lifestyle is known to worsen insulin resistance. Finally, and very importantly, is our insulin resistance is not just a condition developed in adult life. Insulin resistance of Africans are actually things that they develop from birth. Most Africans are born with low birth weights and are usually undernourished. Usually, these conditions will provide a fertile ground for insulin resistance as they become exposed to higher glucose or calorie load as they continue to grow. These and a few more other reasons are why Africans are more at risk of developing insulin resistance and metabolic diseases like diabetes mellitus compared to other groups.